Can you tell us like how important or why it's important to be able to link or convert a new person in your marketing channels to an account in your Salesforce?
I mean, it's critical, right? You know, I try to block out the days before we were doing lead to account matching, because you really where you'll struggle is to understand what's going on at the top of the funnel in terms of activity and how that's linking to what's going on the account side. Um, Once you connect that, you start to get a real understanding of really the true journey from tip to tail, so to speak. But you'll see what's going on with your leads and the marketing that might be earlier in sort of that person marketing funnel, and you'll be able to map some of that activity to your accounts to get that holistic understanding. So you may have you may look at your account and the contacts on it and see some of the things that are happening there, but not realize that, you have some really juicy personas that are stuck in your lead object in Salesforce that you want to bring over. So there you can have some gaps in the insights that you're going to be able to pull if you aren't able to match those.
Yeah, I always use the example, a lot of us SaaS companies deal with investors and we love to go to trade shows and spend a lot of money on events before all of this happened. And they would always say, I don't see any close one business from this trade show, and we would look at the list and be like, well, time out, like there's 50 companies on that list that are either customers or now are customers. And apparently they must have sent their analyst or somebody to our website after they came to the show, and you attributed the first touch to that account based on the web form submission that the sales rep got and manually converted, and now that's the source of attribution. So, like, first of all, to me, if you can't link people in your database to accounts in your database, you can't associate all historical campaign attribution of people to your close one opportunities and accounts. So it makes it harder to create that visual representation of all the personas that are actually engaging throughout that, top of funnel journey. And so I think it's a critical process, and not necessarily mapping the company ICP, but the persona, like ideal person profile at these accounts, and when you should engage them with what content. But when you get it dialed in and you start getting auto lead to account linking, it definitely helps with handing relationships off to the owner of that relationship when they're hot and engaged and ready for a conversation. So
there's one point you bring up there that I wanted to touch on, because it's an interesting one. We had we had that similar angst around events as well, because we pre-COVID, events was a really healthy channel for us from a pipeline and opportunity engagement standpoint. When we went through, and again, it was always, the pipeline came from that event, but then you'd look in your CRM, you really wouldn't understand what's going on. So when we did and we had a similar situation where the data would get into the system before potentially marketing's processing the data to link it to the event. So you would say either there was a manual entry from a salesperson, or they hit the website converted before that data gets tagged to the event. So you would have that gap in attribution to say, it came from the website, it didn't come from the event. But we went, we're on Visible, and we went and did some really good work in terms of the infrastructure and the business rules to support some time delays, to say that, if there was, event that happened today, that we would kind of push back the date of a milestone to be included in that, so that you would really kind of correct for some of those issues that we're having with time delay of loads for some of those events.